The Art of Being Alone by Renuka Gavrani. The Art of Being Alone by Renuka Gavrani is a profound exploration of solitude as a transformative practice for self-discovery, emotional resilience, and personal growth. Unlike books that equate loneliness with sadness, Gavrani reframes solitude as an empowering state, one that fosters self-reliance, creativity, and inner peace. Key themes and chapter breakdown. 1. Redefining solitude. Alone does not equal lonely. Loneliness is an emotional state of lack. Solitude is a chosen state of self-connection. Gavrani argues that modern society stigmatizes being alone, conditioning people to seek constant external validation. Exercise. Spend 30 minutes daily in deliberate solitude, no phone, no distractions. 2. The fear of being alone. Why people dread solitude. Fear of confronting unresolved emotions. Social conditioning that links being alone to being unwanted. Solution. Gradually increase solo time to desensitize discomfort. 3. The power of self-reflection. Solitude provides the mental space to identify personal values versus societal expectations. Process past traumas without external noise. Journaling prompt. What do I avoid thinking about when I'm alone? 4. Creativity and solitude. Many artists, writers, and thinkers like Frida Kahlo, Nietzsche did their best work in isolation. How to harness it. Schedule. Creative solitude. Blocks no interruptions. Let boredom spark innovation instead of numbing it with distractions. 5. Building emotional independence. Dependency on others for happiness is fragile. Steps to self-sufficiency. Learn to enjoy your own company, solo dates, travel. Stop seeking permission for your choices. 6. Navigating relationships without losing yourself. Healthy relationships require two whole individuals, not two halves seeking completion. Warning signs of codependency. Feeling empty when not with a partner, friend. Changing opinions to fit in. 7. Spiritual solitude. Meditation and mindfulness. Gavrani introduces practices like silent meditation, observing thoughts without attachment. Nature immersion, forest walks, stargazing to reconnect with oneself. 8. The dark side of solitude. When isolation becomes harmful. Prolonged withdrawal due to depression versus intentional solitude. Using solitude to avoid vulnerability. Balance. Solitude should complement social life, not replace it entirely. 9. Embracing impermanence. Relationships fade, careers shift, learning to be alone ensures you're never left stranded. Mantra. If I can be at peace alone, I can be at peace anywhere. 10. The art of letting go. Detaching from toxic relationships, outdated self-narratives, and societal pressures. Exercise. Write a release letter to something, someone you need to let go of. Practical exercises from the book. 1. The 24-hour solo challenge. Spend a full day alone without digital distractions. 2. Fear inventory. List your biggest fears about being alone, then question their validity. 3. Gratitude for solitude. Each morning, note one benefit of your alone time. Why this book stands out. Not antisocial, pro-self. Gavrani doesn't reject relationships but emphasizes wholeness first. Actionable. Blends philosophy with exercises, not just abstract ideas. Modern relevance. Addresses digital age loneliness, constant connectivity but deeper isolation. Key quote. Solitude is where you meet yourself beyond the roles you play for others. Part 1. From Loneliness to Self-Acceptance. Chapter 1. Stop romanticizing loneliness. Core argument. Gavrani dismantles the toxic trend of glorifying loneliness as aesthetic melancholy, e.g., social media posts romanticizing isolation. She distinguishes healthy solitude, intentional, enriching alone time. Loneliness, unwanted isolation, stemming from disconnection. Key insights. The loneliness lie. Society sells loneliness as poetic, e.g., I'm a lone wolf, but unaddressed, it leads to anxiety and self-sabotage. Neuroscience. Chronic loneliness triggers the same brain regions as physical pain, referencing studies by Dr. John Cacioppo. Exercises. 1. Reality check. Write down 3 moments loneliness felt, romantic, versus 3 when it felt painful. Compare patterns. 2. Connection audit. List 2 people you can reach out to without pretense. Quote, "Loneliness isn't a mood-lit Instagram post, it's your heart asking for oxygen." Chapter 2. The pain of hiding your true self. Core argument. Gavrani links loneliness to inauthenticity, how hiding your true thoughts, desires to fit in breeds isolation. Psychological framework. Carl Rogers' theory. Depression often stems from incongruence between your real self and projected self. Mask-wearing costs, energy depletion, shallow relationships, and identity erosion. Case study. A corporate executive who drank with colleagues to seem fun realized her loneliness came from suppressing her introverted nature. Exercises. 1. Mask identification. List 3 roles you play, e.g., the agreeable friend. Note how each drains you. 2. Small authenticity wins. Say one unfiltered opinion daily, e.g., "I don't like that restaurant." Quote, "You can't be loved if you're a hologram." Chapter 3. How to be you. Core argument. Practical steps to shed societal conditioning and reclaim authenticity. Step-by-step guide. 1. Name your values. Circle 5 from a list, e.g., creativity, honesty, that resonate. Reject borrowed values, e.g., parents' expectations. 2. Set self-expression boundaries. Example, "I won't laugh at jokes that offend me to seem likable." 3. Embrace weird. Gavrani urges readers to lean into quirks, e.g., loving bad movies, niche hobbies, these attract your tribe. Science spotlight. Harvard study. People who express authenticity show higher cortisol stability, lower stress. Exercise. The anti-resume. Write 10 inches unimpressive truths about yourself, e.g., "I hate hiking." Notice liberation in owning them. Quote, "Authenticity isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, with yourself first." Key takeaway. Loneliness isn't cured by people, it's cured by radical self-honesty. Chapter 4. The love for solitude, cultivating joy in your own company. Core thesis. Gavrani transitions from addressing loneliness Part 1 to actively cultivating a fulfilling relationship with solitude. This chapter provides practical philosophy for transforming alone time from something endured to something cherished. Key sections. 1. The solitude spectrum distinguishes between empty solitude, passive, disconnected; creative solitude, active, generative; sacred solitude, transcendent, meditative. Exercise. Track your alone hours for a week and categorize them using this framework. 2. Neurological benefits. Cites studies showing solitude increases alpha brain waves linked to creativity, allows the default mode network to activate, essential for self-processing, reduces cortisol levels when practiced intentionally. 3. Historical wisdom. Examines how great thinkers Rilke, Woolf, Thoreau structured their solitary time. Contrasts modern, always-on culture with monastic traditions of deliberate isolation. 4. The 4 pillars of rewarding solitude. Gavrani outlines essential components for fulfilling alone time. A. Curiosity. Approach solitude as self-discovery. Exercise. Alone date. Take yourself somewhere new weekly. B. Ritual. Create sacred personal routines. Example, morning pages, evening tea ceremony. C. Creation. Channel solitude into making. Suggests keeping an isolation journal of ideas born alone. D. Stillness. Comfort with non-doing. Meditation techniques for those resistant to sitting quietly. 5. Digital detox framework. 3-tier system for reducing dependency on virtual connection. 1. Boundaried use, designated tech-free hours. 2. Intentional engagement, conscious scrolling. 3. Periodic withdrawal, full digital Sabbaths. Psychological insights. Explores how early attachment styles affect adult capacity for solitude. Introduces the concept of self-intimacy, is foundational to all other relationships. Transformative exercises. 1. The Solitude Resume. Document all skills, hobbies developed alone. 2. Fear Inventory. List then challenge fears about being unconnected. 3. Alone Appreciation. Daily gratitude for one benefit of solitude. Key quotes. Solitude is the incubator where your unlived potentials finally gestate. The more joy you find in your own company, the more company you'll attract that truly fits. Chapter 5. Practicing the Art of Being Alone. Key themes. This chapter emphasizes that solitude is not just about physical isolation but a conscious practice of self-discovery, creativity, and emotional independence. The author reframes being alone as an art, a skill that can be mastered for personal growth. Main points. 1. Understanding solitude versus loneliness. Solitude is a choice, a state of being alone without feeling lonely. Loneliness is an emotional state of feeling disconnected, even in a crowd. The chapter encourages shifting from fearing solitude to embracing it as a powerful tool for self-awareness. 2. The Art of Being Alone (ART). Framework. The author breaks down the practice of solitude into 3 key components. A. Awareness. Observing thoughts and emotions without judgment. Practicing mindfulness to stay present in the moment. R. Reflection. Using alone time for self-inquiry, journaling, meditation. Asking deep questions. Who am I when no one is watching? What truly fulfills me? T. Transformation. Turning solitude into creative fuel, writing, art, learning. Building self-sufficiency so happiness isn't dependent on others. 3. Practical exercises for embracing solitude. Digital detox. Taking breaks from social media to reconnect with oneself. Solo activities. Traveling alone, dining alone, or engaging in hobbies without external validation. Silence practice. Spending time in quiet reflection to reduce mental clutter. 4. Benefits of mastering solitude. Stronger sense of self, less reliance on external validation. Increased creativity and productivity, undisturbed focus. Better relationships, you attract others from a place of wholeness, not neediness. Chapter 6. Turning loneliness into a growth period. Key themes. This chapter addresses the pain of loneliness and how to reframe it as an opportunity for deep personal development. Instead of avoiding loneliness, the author teaches readers to mine it for wisdom. Main points. 1. Why loneliness hurts and why it's not always bad. Loneliness is a signal. Like hunger, it indicates a need for connection or self-reflection. Society often stigmatizes loneliness, making people feel ashamed of it, but it can be a catalyst for change. 2. The growth mindset approach to loneliness. Instead of resisting loneliness, the book suggests acknowledging it without self-pity. Asking, what is this loneliness trying to teach me? Using it as fuel for self-improvement, e.g., learning a skill, deepening spirituality. 3. Transforming loneliness into action. The author provides strategies to convert loneliness into growth. Self-discovery phase. Journaling prompts. When do I feel most lonely? What unmet needs does this reveal? Identifying patterns, e.g., loneliness after social media use, indicating comparison traps. Skill building and passion projects. Investing time in learning, fitness, or creative pursuits. Example, a lonely period could be the perfect time to write a book, start a business, or master a language. Building meaningful connections. Not just seeking any company, but intentional relationships. Volunteering, joining interest-based communities, or deepening existing bonds. 4. The alchemy of loneliness, from pain to power. Historical figures, artists, writers, philosophers often produced their best work in solitude. Loneliness, when leveraged correctly, can lead to greater resilience, learning to enjoy your own company. Deeper empathy, understanding others' struggles. A clearer life purpose, removing distractions to hear your inner voice. Chapter 7. Make a new best bud yourself. Key themes. This chapter shifts the focus from coping with solitude to actively cultivating a deep, fulfilling relationship with oneself. The author argues that befriending yourself is the foundation of true confidence, happiness, and resilience. Main points. 1. Why you should be your own best friend. Most people seek external validation but neglect self-validation. A strong self-relationship means you're never truly alone. You make decisions based on self-respect, not fear or people-pleasing. 2. How to build a friendship with yourself. The author provides a step-by-step guide to deepening self-connection. Self-dialogue exercise. Talk to yourself kindly, as you would a close friend. Replace self-criticism with compassionate curiosity. Why do I feel this way? Instead of, why am I like this? Solo dates and adventures. Take yourself out, movies, restaurants, travel, to normalize enjoying your own company. Discover what truly brings you joy, not just what others enjoy. Trusting your instincts. Practice making decisions without seeking approval from others. Journal about times you ignored your intuition, and how it played out. 3. The benefits of being your own best bud. Reduced fear of abandonment. You always have yourself. Stronger boundaries. You prioritize your well-being. Authentic confidence. You don't rely on others to feel worthy. 4. Common obstacles and how to overcome them. It feels silly to treat myself like a friend. Right pointing arrow. Start small, e.g., positive affirmations. I don't even know what I like. Right pointing arrow. Experiment with new hobbies alone. Chapter 8. Building a Dream Life Plan. Key themes. Now that the reader has developed self-awareness, independence, and self-friendship, this chapter guides them in designing a life aligned with their true desires, not societal expectations. Main points. 1. Why most people don't live their dream life. Fear of judgment. Following a default path, college, job, marriage without questioning if it fits. Not giving themselves permission to want something different. 2. Step by step, crafting your dream life plan. A. Define your core values. What truly matters to you? Freedom, creativity, family, adventure, exercise. If you had unlimited money, time, how would you spend your days? B. Audit your current life. What parts of your life align with your values? What parts feel obligatory rather than chosen? C. Design your ideal day. From morning to night, what would make you feel fulfilled? Example. A creative person's ideal day might include unstructured time for art, nature walks, and deep conversations. D. Break it down into actionable steps. 1-year goal. What's one big change you can make? E.g., switch careers, move cities. 3-month goal. Smaller steps, e.g., take a course, save $X. Weekly habits. Daily actions that build toward the vision, e.g., networking, skill building. 3. Overcoming mental blocks. What if I fail? Right pointing arrow. Reframe failure as data, not defeat. Others will think I'm selfish, unrealistic. Right pointing arrow. Remember, you're the one living your life. 4. The role of solitude in reinvention. Alone time is necessary for deep reflection and bold decisions. Many life-changing ideas come in quiet moments, not in busy social noise. Chapter 9. The Action Plan, Turning Insights into Results. Key themes. This chapter serves as the practical culmination of the book, transforming the previous lessons into a step-by-step system for creating lasting change. The focus shifts from theory to actionable strategies, ensuring readers move beyond reflection and into real-world implementation. Main sections of the chapter. 1. The importance of an action plan. Why most self-help fails. People gain awareness but don't execute. The knowing-doing gap. Many understand what they need to do but struggle with follow-through. Solution. A structured, flexible plan that turns insights into daily habits. 2. The 4-phase action plan. The author introduces a progressive framework to build confidence in solitude and self-directed living. Phase 1. Awareness and Acceptance, Weeks 1 to 2. Task: identify your current relationship with solitude. Do you avoid being alone? Do you feel empowered or anxious in solitude? Exercise: keep a solitude journal for 1 week, noting when you feel lonely versus when you enjoy solitude. Triggers, e.g., social media, weekends, certain environments. Phase 2. Small wins, weeks 3 to 4. Goal: build micro habits to normalize alone time. Examples: eat 1 meal a week alone, no distractions. Take a 15-minute walk without your phone. Sit in silence for 5 minutes daily, no music, podcasts. Why it works: these easy wins rewire the brain to associate solitude with safety and pleasure. Phase 3. Deep dive, weeks 5 to 8. Task: use solitude for self-reinvention. Exercises: future self visualization. Write a letter from your ideal future self 1+ years ahead, thanking you for the changes you made today. Passion project launch. Dedicate 30 minutes daily to a skill or hobby you've neglected. Key question: if no one were watching, what would I love to create or try? Phase 4. Integration, ongoing. Goal: make solitude a lifestyle, not a challenge. Strategies: schedule sacred alone time, weekly, e.g., Sunday mornings for reflection. Regularly audit your social life. Are your relationships draining or energizing? Practice joyful selfishness, saying no to others to honor your needs. 3. Troubleshooting common roadblocks. Problem: I keep procrastinating my solo activities. Fix: pair them with rewards, e.g., after my solo hike, I'll get my favorite coffee. Problem: I feel guilty for prioritizing myself. Fix: remind yourself, you can't pour from an empty cup. Problem: I don't know what to do alone. Fix: use a solitude menu, pre-made list of activities like reading, painting, or exploring a new neighborhood. 4. Measuring progress. Quantitative tracking. Rate your comfort with solitude weekly, 1-10 scale. Track how many solo dates you complete monthly. Qualitative shifts. Notice if you feel less FOMO, fear of missing out. Observe if decision-making feels more internalized, less reliance on others' opinions. 5. Long-term maintenance. The alone muscle. Like fitness, solitude needs consistent practice. Monthly check-ins. Ask: am I using alone time for growth or escapism? Do I feel more self-sufficient than I did 90 days ago? Asterisk. Final thought from the chapter. You don't find yourself in people. You find yourself in the quiet moments between the noise, and then you bring that version of yourself to the world. Chapter 10. Make your alone time addictive, cultivating joy in solitude. Core idea. This chapter shifts the paradigm from enduring alone time to craving it by designing a personalized solitude practice that feels rewarding, energizing, and deeply fulfilling. The author argues that when solitude becomes a source of pleasure rather than punishment, it transforms from something we avoid into something we prioritize. Key sections and strategies. 1. Reframing alone time, from lonely to luxury. The problem society conditions us to see solitude as pitiable, eating alone. How sad. The shift: treat solo time as self-care, not deprivation. Examples: think of solitude like a spa day for your mind. Compare it to meetings with yourself that are non-negotiable. 2. The addictive solitude formula. The author introduces a neuroscience-backed framework to make alone time rewarding on a chemical level: dopamine, serotonin, and endorphin boosts. A. Novelty plus curiosity. Why it works: the brain craves new experiences. How to apply. Try a new activity alone each week, e.g., pottery class, solo hiking trail. Explore beginner's mind in familiar settings, e.g., visit your usual cafe but sketch the people there. B. Flow states. Why it works: Losing track of time in an activity like painting or coding creates intrinsic joy. How to apply. Identify your solo flow triggers. What makes you forget to check your phone? Design a flow corner at home, e.g., a reading nook, music station. C. Sensory pleasure. Why it works. Comforting stimuli, smells, textures anchor positive associations. How to apply. Create a solitude ritual, e.g., morning coffee with a specific playlist, evening bath with essential oils. D. Micro adventures. Why it works. Small thrills like exploring a new bookstore release dopamine. How to apply. Keep a solo adventure jar with ideas like take the scenic route home or try a random recipe. 3. Overcoming resistance. But I get bored alone. Right pointing arrow. Boredom is the gateway to creativity. Lean into it. I feel guilty taking time for myself. Right pointing arrow. Reminder. You're more present for others when recharged. What if people judge me? Right pointing arrow. Most people are too busy worrying about themselves to notice. 5. Advanced tactics. Alone time anchors. Pair solitude with a consistent cue, e.g., every Sunday 10 a.m. equals me time. Dopamine stacking. Combine multiple rewards, e.g., listen to a favorite podcast while gardening alone. Digital fasting. Remove distractions, phone on airplane mode to heighten enjoyment of the moment. Key quotes from the chapter. Solitude is only lonely if you haven't met yourself yet. The best addiction is the one where you're hooked on your own company. Final takeaways. 1. Alone time should feel like a gift, not a sentence. Design it that way. 2. Your brain can be trained to crave solitude like it craves social media. Use psychology to your advantage. 3. The more you enjoy your own company, the less you'll settle for unfulfilling relationships. Next steps. Pick one addictive alone tactic to try this week. Note how it feels compared to passive alone time, e.g., scrolling alone versus painting alone. Chapter 11. Become independent. This chapter focuses on the importance of emotional and psychological independence. It emphasizes that being alone doesn't mean being lonely, it means learning to stand strong on your own without excessive reliance on others for happiness, validation, or purpose. Key themes. 1. Emotional self-reliance. The chapter encourages you to build a solid emotional foundation within yourself. True independence is not about rejecting help, but about not being emotionally dependent on others to feel complete. 2. Letting go of codependency. Many people unknowingly rely on relationships to fill emotional voids. Becoming independent means identifying these tendencies and gently detaching from unhealthy emotional patterns. 3. Building internal strength. Practices like journaling, meditation, creative hobbies, and solo travel are recommended. These help you connect with your inner voice and build confidence in your ability to handle life alone. 4. Redefining success and happiness. The chapter challenges the societal belief that success equals relationships, fame, or wealth. Instead, it proposes that real success is about living authentically and being at peace alone. 5. Freedom in solitude. Independence brings the freedom to choose, explore, and grow without external limitations. The chapter encourages embracing this freedom as a path to deeper self-understanding. Practical takeaways. Spend intentional time alone, go on a solo walk, eat out alone, or travel solo. Reflect on areas where you seek approval or need constant reassurance, and gently start to detach. Develop routines that center you, not your relationships or external circumstances. Conclusion of the art of being alone. Finding strength in solitude. 1. Solitude is a source of power. The book concludes with the powerful idea that being alone is not a sign of weakness but of inner strength. In a world that often glorifies constant social interaction and external validation, choosing solitude becomes a courageous act of self-reliance. It teaches you that you don't need others to complete you, you are already whole. 2. Wholeness begins within. One of the central lessons in the conclusion is that you don't need someone else to feel complete. Instead of seeking validation, comfort, or purpose through others, the book invites you to turn inward and build a relationship with yourself. This self-connection becomes the foundation for all other areas of life: relationships, career, creativity, and inner peace. 3. Emotional independence brings freedom. The book emphasizes that emotional independence is liberation. When you are no longer emotionally dependent on others for happiness, you stop fearing loneliness. You begin to choose relationships and experiences consciously, not out of desperation or fear of being alone. This creates space for healthier connections and more meaningful living. Closing thought. You came into this world alone, and you will leave alone. In between, learn to be your own home.